RV solar. So here's some of the stuff that I do. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, saying it works for me, and just give you an idea of things to possibly look for if you're looking to do RV solar. I put the panels as center of the roof as possible. Try and leave walking room around. If you're doing multiple panels, you may have to check different places. I always check the roof first and make sure that there are no solar connectors sticking out of the roof anywhere. I've found RVs that aren't marked that they have solar, but their wires are already run for you. If they're not run, pray for a top vent refrigerator that's not in a slide out. This makes life a billion times easier. Now, when you're feeding the wire down, when you're feeding the wire down, I use a fish to go down and then pull the wire back up. Make sure you stay out of the coils of the refrigerator, and because the coils get super hot. Always check the voltage rating of your charge controller. This one will handle up to 70 volts. So I'm running these 200 watt Renogy panels in series, and then pulling it out, I try to keep the least amount of wire exposed to the sunlight as possible. Just obviously, especially here in Arizona, the least amount of sun, the least amount of rot. The wires that you're going to be running down, I take them and I spread them out on the ground first and stretch them out, because they come in this tight coil and it is a son of a gun to try and feed them. Even when you think you've got them uncoiled, it's a son of a gun to get them back down through there and beat all the coils. So if you'll stretch them out first, and they will feed a billion times easier for you. I use Dicor under the feet before I run any screws. The Renogy panels give you roofing screws that also have the rubber seal to them, but because you're going through an RV roof, you don't always hit something that is super solid. So you get dual purpose with these. One, you get water seal, but number two, it also acts as a glue, because then when you come back over the top and use your Dicor over the top to glue it down, it also acts as a glue to hold the panel down during really high wind situations. So you got a screw plus the Dicor is acting as a glue. Instead of drilling more holes in the roof, I use Dicor and set in some Dicor and then top them off, because there's nothing more annoying than things on your roof going slap, and then down through the refrigerator vent. One of the advantages of having the refrigerator in a stationary area is generally the fuse and circuit breaker box is right directly underneath it, and there's a panel to the side, so we will have plenty of room to mount the solar controller right here. These actually have a Bluetooth module from Renogy that you can control it with your phone, so you don't actually need to even look at this. Your phone will check it for you. We have a lot of space back here, and then you'll be able to see where A, the wire is, and B, the gas line fitting for the refrigerator is. So we can drill out right there, drop our wires in here, and have full access, plenty of room to work. This will be much easier to deal with. I have in the past where fuse boxes are in weird places, but I've got a roof vent fridge. I have pulled out and put the control module up here on the side out of the way so people can see it. And then, I know it's not the same gauge wire, but come out here and added connectors to the refrigerator, because we've got quite a bit going on out here. So I've added connectors out here and used the fridge to feed the solar to the battery. Kind of a cheating method, but in some cases it's really kind of the best way to go. After checking your inside depths, you always want to be at least as far out from the edge as the propane is, because there's boards and stuff like this, ensuring you don't have any wires or anything in here. I generally use a 1/2-inch bit and then just walk it side to side and open it, elongate the hole a little bit to get the two 10-gauge wires in there and come in. Now when I'm done and I have my wires completely fed and zip tied in here so that I know that they're going to stay out of the coils, I will top this with some silicone right here to keep everything out. And then I go into the fuse box here. There's always a nice little spot back here to run wires. So go in here, feed my negative, feed my positive down here. As I go along, I always mark my positive wire. Obviously you can mark your negative wire. When you're up at the up on the roof and making your connection, the factory, or at least for everything I've ever seen, have them marked positive. So as I proceed, I always mark it with red tape so that I can keep track of it. But even once I get to this point where I'm ready to hook up my controller, I will come in and verify that I'm not reversed and I don't have a negative sign over to the left. That way I don't damage anything. I drill individual holes where each of the wires come in. And then when it's all said and done, ta-da, just like that. Looks neat and clean from underneath too. We're basically done, other than set the battery voltage or the battery type. I got to check the customer's batteries per request and set the battery type and show her about her Bluetooth controller, which they come with a Bluetooth controller, which allows her to not have to crawl down here and make any settings. She can change everything on her phone.